I'm in the car. Hey guys. I'm like a couple minutes behind. I was like running to my car so I wasn't walking down the street like going live and trying to cross the street. Good morning again. Good morning in Australia, correct? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm so sleepy. So thank you for saying that I look pretty, because it's one of those days. I needed that. Thank you. So hey Ebony, hey Grace. I'm in school for shiatsu massage therapy, so I had a practice class today where we get to kind of just come together and work on whatever technique we need to work on with our fellow students. And I think we have to do like 20 of them or something throughout the whole program. So I was doing that. So I was running to my car after class so that I wasn't super late for the live, but I'm about 5 minutes late, but it's all good. My class ended at 6, so it's cool. But hello, I hope everybody's having a great day today. Mindset Week is just about over. We've got 2 more topics to go, and it has been going so great. Like, I've been getting the best feedback from people, and my whole purpose, I just wanted to make sure that it helped people in some way, shape, or form. Everybody's going through something different, and as choreographers, we see all the things. So these are all the things that are like going through my head in a given day. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just tell everyone what I'm thinking. And hopefully it helps someone else. Today we are talking about overwhelm, because who isn't overwhelmed at times? But I have tried to figure out some tactics that work. And dance and choreography, it always sounds so fun to people, like, oh my gosh, you're a choreographer, that's so cool. But it's hard work. Like, it is not easy. And when you do other things in your life, especially if it's not your full-time gig, it's stressful. And stressful on your family, because you've got to travel to get the jobs done, and you've got to prep, and you've got to get all the other things done as well. So it's not always the easiest thing in the world, at least not for me. But on the flip side, I am built for this. I realize. And I find that it's sort of my little getaway when everything else is like going nuts. So in my email this week, I talked about just some of the craziness that I deal with. And I know all of you guys have, I call it baggage. Like, you have your baggage that you bring to the table too, and just shit that has to happen. In addition to you being a choreographer or doing anything dance related for that matter. You may have a full-time job. I mean, you may have a husband or a wife, or, kids to deal and raise. And for me, it's just a lot has been thrown into this year and the past year. So, there's just the everyday struggle of like building a business, right? And keeping the business running. But when a business grows, like as my business grows, rather, like I added people. I have several contractors who work as choreographers under me, and then I have a DJ and an administrative assistant, and I have a people person, like a customer service person. I have an intern. So there's lots of moving parts to manage, and that gets to be a whole heck of a lot, because I'm still doing choreography and trying to manage the team to make sure they're fulfilling everything that I need as well. Hey Tasha girl. And so that's hard, right? Especially I think managing people is one of the most challenging things I've done, and I lead, by example, and I lead with love always. But it's just hard with people's schedules and different levels of commitment and all of that fun stuff. Like, it's been a struggle on the DJ end to try to like get a system that works. Having to mix music for 40 plus teams, like it's hard. So that's definitely a challenge. And hey, Bree girl, that's definitely a challenge and produces a huge sense of overwhelm. Music is a whole other conversation for a whole other day. Maybe I'll do a live on how we've managed to dig our way through finding music, mixing music, working with the DJ, because it has been a straight up challenge for me. But then also dealing with stuff on the personal side, like we've got family issues. My favorite uncle had a stroke just in the last 2 weeks, and I mentioned in the email that like someone I really, really love has been basically lying to me for the entire time, the length of our relationship. What else? Some of you know that my husband and I have been trying to get pregnant forever, and so that wasn't going the way that I wanted to go. So we did IVF last year. We did 2 rounds, and I was pretty open about it. Like, I'm always an open book anyway. But at first it wasn't very challenging, like the shots and stuff. Like, I kind of beasted my way through that. But then I had a miscarriage, and so that caused all kinds of other issues. And so it was like after the miscarriage, it was just like, okay, I felt like things were just like going downhill for me, just emotionally, and just trying to keep this going. So I took a little bit of a pause hey Tessa, hey Jess, I took a little bit of a pause last summer to just breathe a little bit, but I still did work. I still created routines and stuff, but it was like a lot happening, because that the hormones and all the medicine like caused all kind of craziness. I mean, during the IVF it was fine, but afterwards, like after the miscarriage, as my hormones were trying to get back in line, I was having like panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and just like stuff that had never been present before, and still having to fulfill my contracts. Like, I did not cancel all of them. I still traveled, and through those months, like, I wasn't sleeping. Like, I wasn't sleeping like for the entire night. It's not like I would doze off and get like a couple hours. I'm talking I was up for like the entire night, and then still having to work during the day. I took a little bit of time off, but I just wanted to keep plugging through, and I still managed to get some good work out of that situation, and I'm so much stronger because of it. But the ways that I learned to deal, oh Jess, yes, right? But there's three things that I learned. So the first thing is that I learned how to set really clear boundaries. And now this is still a work in progress for me, because I am not perfect, and boundaries is something that I have never set for myself, like typically growing up. Excuse me. And so now that is my thing. So I have like boundaries that I put in place that I enforce when I have to enforce them. So on the business side, it's things like I don't fly to choreography jobs. Basically, if I can avoid a layover in my flight plans, I avoid a layover at all costs, because I realize I don't love flying that much, even though I do it every week. But I don't like going up and down all that many times. So, if I get a flight and it has a layover and there's another option, I'm going to take the other option, because I don't like flying that much. And that's a boundary that I set. And, I have taken layover, like I will, like that's fine. But if given the choice, I'm going to take a direct flight. And I'm the farthest from a diva that you will ever meet. So it's just me setting a clear boundary. Like, it doesn't I'm more comfortable with a direct flight because flying makes me uncomfortable. Like I used to, back when I first started flying, I used to like get the sweaty palms and the, I'm like looking for something to make me sleepy so I don't have to think about being in the air and whatever. But now I don't get the fear as much. It's just not my favorite thing to do. So I avoid layovers, and that is a boundary that I set. Another boundary on the business side is cleaning sessions for teams. That used to be, when I first started, it was something that I was like, oh yeah, I'll clean your dance. Oh yeah, send me a video. Oh yeah, like I'll come out and I'll clean for a couple hours, whatever, just because I loved it. Well, now, like, I don't do that shit for free, and that it's not because I feel like I'm on this other level right now. It's simply because I value my time a lot. And so, I teach people to value their time. Like, your time is really, really important. And so, if I'm going to go clean a routine, it needs to be worth my time because I could be doing something else. And so that's really the reason behind it. And I have been really strong and staying really true to that because it's important to set that boundary. You will do whatever someone wants you to do if you don't set a boundary. So again, on the personal side, I'm still working out this whole boundary thing. But on the business side, it's giving me super confidence, and it's giving me just saying no to things. It's really giving me confidence to keep going and keep setting boundaries in my relationships even. And so I'm trying to think of other examples. Oh, so here's one I said in the email too. And all of these things, as I'm talking them out loud, I feel like it makes me sound like a brat, but I'm not. I've just lived many, many years. And I now know that it's super important for your sanity, and to not be overwhelmed, to set clear boundaries. So one thing that I decided in my house, so just traveling so much and living out of a suitcase gets stressful. And so my closets were a mess just in terms of like organization. I never, switched out the summer to winter clothes type thing, because here in Chicago we have clear seasons. So the closets get pretty packed if you have all your clothes in there. So it's kind of, it's more effective to switch them out for me. In addition to like my kitchen pantry is a hot mess, just going in, grabbing food, putting stuff back, and I couldn't keep it super neat. We've got a million other closets, like a closet full of holiday stuff and closets full of gadgets. And so anyway, I was feeling super overwhelmed because everything felt unorganized in my house. So I realized that I actually like taking a day and like organizing stuff and making it super, type A and getting it. I actually really enjoy that. But then I realized, is that the best use of my time? If I can be working on choreography or doing business planning, or I could be, hey Carol, or I could be making money, frankly, right? Or I could be cooking dinner, which is something else I enjoy, right? Or simply something as stupid as just spending time with my puppy. Like, that's something I enjoy doing. And so when given the choice, I'm like, do I want to organize this damn closet, or do I want to work on the choreography that's going to make me money for the weekend and then have my Friday free? And so I realized real quick, like, I'm not doing that. I'm not. And I decided, and I told my husband, I was like, I'm not organizing these closets, just to let you know. Like, you're more than welcome to have at it. So I actually hired I could call her a personal assistant, I guess, but I found her on Craigslist. I just put up a little ad. I didn't do a big, like, looking for a personal assistant, on Facebook or, anything like that. But I just put it out there to see, like, if there were people who like to do that kind of stuff. And I got all kinds of emails, and I did some interviews, like, super low key on Zoom, and she happened to be perfect. She has a dog. She likes training dogs on top of it. So I have a puppy, so she can do that. So she could take care of the dog when I'm not home, or even when I'm home, right? I can be working on something else and she can feed the dog. Like, and she loves organizing, and she also builds things. So she puts stuff, like she builds stuff out of wood, and she does all these extra things, and it's amazing. The best money I've ever spent. Like, I spend money on dumb shit, of course. Like, I spend a lot of money on food, actually. Food is my thing. But I spend money on my hair, I spend money on massages, I spend money on like some useless stuff, right? I'm kind of addicted to sneakers, so there's that. But like $15 an hour, and she's at my house just a couple hours a week, and all my closets are organized. Like, what? Why didn't I do that before? And it's so not a bougie thing. It's not like, we're not rich. It's just a matter of like making really good use of my time, which allows me white space, which then helps me not be overwhelmed. Like, real talk. And so right now she's clearing out my office, was like basically a storage. And so I wasn't able to work out of my office because I had so much stuff everywhere. So she's organizing that. She already did my closet. She just does anything I need. And that created some space for me. It's just a matter of like reframing it. I was always the kind of person that's like, I don't need help. Hey, MNDT. Nice to see you guys here. And so I don't have any shame by saying that I have someone help me in my home do the things that I'm not going to do. And that's really just it. It's kind of just like hiring somebody to prepare all your meals, if that's what you want to do. Like, it's your life and you create it the way that you want, and I needed help, and it's allowed me time to focus on my business and do stuff like Mindset Week. And it's just opened up so much space, and I don't feel guilty about leaving my house in the middle of the day. Like, I'll usually go work at Starbucks to do business stuff, and she is at my house organizing things, and it's so great. So that's one thing. So that kind of goes on the boundaries list. I also said, hey, NKC, my king of kick, love you. And I also said another thing that I do is, hey, Hunterton, I get my hair done every month. Just because I have to, because I have to keep these looking pretty, because they'll look ratchet real fast. But I usually, when I go on choreography jobs, just whenever, like at night or whatever, if I finish at 5:00, like I'll go get a massage in whatever town I'm in. And again, this is just me taking care of myself, right? I'm trying to think of other boundaries that I have set around choreography. Another one that comes up is like, yeah, exactly, Nick. Yeah, it just takes your brain away from dance team, and it helps me for the next day, honestly. But I don't allow teams to, there we go. I'm back. I don't allow my teams to like super take advantage of me. So when you're a new choreographer, it's super easy to give, right? Don't do that. Like, give what you say you're gonna give, and then from there, like, you be the ringleader, right? Don't feel guilty. Don't feel it's okay to say no, basically, because people will try it, and people will try you all day. Hey, can you just change this little 8 count? Like, it's not really working, and it was 2 months ago. That happened to a friend of mine just recently. She went on a job, left, the team did not remember the choreography, and then like 2 months later, after she's done 5 other dances, they emailed her saying, hey, can you send a video of the choreography because we don't remember? Or can you come back and reteach it because we don't remember? Right, Carol, hell no. And she actually called me and was like, what do I do? Like, they don't remember it. Like, the coach let them forget it. She didn't take good notes. Like, what the heck? And Nick, and boundaries. That would have been a strong, like, okay, there's not much I can do for you in this situation, because that's just ridiculous, right? So anyway, set clear boundaries. The second thing I do, which I already touched on, is I make sure that I take care of myself. Like, self-care comes first. Or whatever. Self-care. So I get a massage every once in a while. I go to yoga when I can go to yoga. And those things are important, even in the midst of all the other crap. Because if you just do stuff and do stuff for other people, you're gonna burn out. Right? You have to do something for yourself. So everybody promise me right now that you're going to do something for yourself once per month. For me, it's like once a week. And I don't feel selfish about that. It just is what it is. That's the only way I'm going to be able to create like really great shit for people, is that I have to take care of myself. But once a month, let's all agree. Everybody put an emoji in the comments, a clapping emoji that says you're going to take care of yourself once a month, whatever that means for you. So if that means taking an hour away and reading a book, do it. If it means going to get a massage, do it. But it is so important. Put an emoji in the comments and tell me that you're going to do something for yourself once a month. And this is your promise to yourself and to me. I want to see you do it. Carol, you don't let your nails slide. Right? You got to do it. It's so important. It's something that we just sort of overlook. But you have to do it. You have to. You have to, you have to, you have to. So for me, it's yoga, it's massage. But I also, sometimes I'll just go down to the lake and I will read a book, right? And just get away and just not think. But once a month, whatever that means to you. And then the third thing that I do, hey Miranda girl, the third thing that I do to kind of avoid being super overwhelmed is I invest in myself for sure, and I invest in things that are going to bring me returns later, if that makes sense. So, for example, and I'm just going to give you practical examples in my life because I can't think of anything else. Here's one thing. So, I am studying shiatsu massage therapy, which is where I am right now, which is why I'm parked in the car. I'm thinking about my long game, right? I'll be doing choreography for a while to come, I'm sure. But I'm thinking ahead, and I'm thinking about all the things, every team that I go to has somebody that's in pain. And so my thought is, like, I really love body work. Like, I love getting body work. And in my yoga class, I saw an ad for shiatsu, and I went and studied it to see what it was. And it's like a mixture of massage therapy and acupuncture, acupressure, so it works the meridians and the same points as acupuncture, stretching, yoga. It's like it combines the mind and the body, and it helps your body to heal from within, without drugs, and just using your own body to heal. And I'm super attracted to that idea, that whole concept. And so I enrolled in the program. And my long game is that one day I'll be able to, once I get my license, I really want to help dancers who have chronic pain, because we all have aches and pains, and just help them heal without a bunch of drugs, help them heal using their own body so that maybe they get back to dancing faster. I don't know. That's my thing. So it's not like physical therapy, but it is like physical therapy, but it just combines the mind with the body. And I feel like physical therapy sometimes forgets about the mental part of things. And so it's super fascinating. So I'm learning all these things about how to take care of your body, and it also heals emotionally. So I can treat, I'll be able to treat people for, emotional distress and trauma. You can follow the track of helping people with who are recovering from diseases and, like cancer and other things. And it even, learning how to heal like eczema and, sleep disorders and just it's freaking phenomenal. So check in with me in 2 years and maybe I might be able to help you out. But I'm pretty far into the program, so I can give a treatment, no problem. But just working on the pathologies right what causes things in people's bodies and how it like how I can help like fix that person. So thank you, Miranda. I love you. You're so sweet. But so that is my long game. So anyway, I'm saying invest in things that are going to bring you returns later. So I do that, and that's just kind of like a long plan down the road. And it's still related to dance. I have talked about this a lot, but I invest in like a business coaching program that I'm in called $1 Million Badass, and like the name just spoke to me because I'm like, what professional coaching company has badass in the title? I'm like, yes, you're my people. And it was so expensive, like I almost had a heart attack. I've never paid that much money for anything, and it is a game changer because the tactics that I'm learning are things that are going to build my business and help me in the future. And you know, although it makes your heart beat a little bit to invest in it, I know for sure that it's going to help me for years down the line. Like, I'm going to make my investment back like real quick. So that's another thing that helps me. Although it adds things to my schedule, it's going to help my feelings of overwhelm later because I'm going to have tools that I can use to fall back on, tools that I can use to further myself, and always learning. Like, I'm always a student. So I encourage you to remain like a perpetual student. Like, don't stop learning shit, because that's when you get stuck. That's when you get stagnant. And it honestly adds to the overwhelm because you're not adding anything new or exciting to your life, right? When you're doing the same things over and over and over the same way without taking care of yourself and without setting clear boundaries, and you're not like learning new things in the process, like, what is life, right? It's just, that's not the way you want to live and better yourself for the future. So keep learning, keep setting boundaries, and keep taking care of yourself. Those are my top 3. And I'm sure that there's other things I could probably talk to you about in terms of overwhelm, but those are the 3 things that literally work. And so, yeah, you can ask me anything, any questions if you have in follow up of this. I may do another session about this because, like I said, there are some other things, little things that you can do to avoid being overwhelmed. But when you're just in that zone of like, those are 3 big things, but when you're in the zone and you feel it, you know, you can feel the anxiety, you can feel the overwhelm in your shoulders and your neck. So bringing out my shiatsu, so I can't show you my wrist, but right here, see the wrist bone right there? If you press right there, let me see if I can like rig this up. Hold on. Oh, that's actually good. Okay. So this is a shiatsu thing, just if you're in the moment and you're having like anxiety or whatever. Right here, so right under the wrist bone, if you press there, this is your heart channel, and it goes all the way down, like under your armpit, like towards your heart, literally. But if you just give it some love right there while you're, you know, kind of feeling overwhelmed or having an anxiety attack or whatever, it really helps relieve some of the symptoms. And this acupressure point is called Heart 7, so all the points have numbers, but that's a good one for overwhelm and anxiety. And then there's one right next to it in the center of your wrist, so this is pericardium, and that's a term you may not know, but everyone has a pericardium, and it sort of is the protector of your heart. So it's like a sheath, like fascia around your heart, if that makes sense. But it protects your heart, and so that's another. Heart 7 and pericardium, I don't know what the number is. Both of those points really help anxiety and overwhelm. And I'm trying to think of any other points that could help you when you're feeling anxious. So right here, right in the middle, you can press there. That helps as well. Just give it some love. That's gallbladder 21. And there's a million other things I could tell you, but maybe I'll do a shiatsu acupressure session for like anxiety and overwhelm. That would be kind of cool, actually, because I can show you all the things. But it totally helps in the moment. Like, and if you just press there and take a second to breathe really deep and just give it some love for like 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, breathe deep, step outside, twist, okay? Like twist a little bit, because your spine will release lots of stress by just like slowly twisting it. And taking deep breaths to help your diaphragm like contract and expand. Literally, if you do that, 5 minutes later, like you're gonna feel better. And so those are like physical things you can do when you're actually feeling the overwhelm, if you have not followed the 3 things I told you earlier. But anyway, in life in general, yes, at nationals, Carol, I'm gonna be coming like pressing on everybody's stuff, like how are you feeling right now? I need to give shiatsu sessions at nationals because there's all the stress. But yeah, there's other points, and I can, like I said, I might do a session later to like show y'all what to do when you're feeling stressed. But anyway, do the 3 things I said. Overall, those are major like life things that you can change, but in the moment, heart 7 gets the job done. And tapping, obviously. If you just tap, it's called EFT. If you just tap like this in a rhythmic fashion, it will help release some of the anxiety and some of the overwhelm too. So anyway, those are my little nuggets of wisdom. I hope this was super helpful for y'all. Mindset week is almost over. We got a series of 2 or 3 more emails I have to send out. Tomorrow is about, I don't remember, I don't have it in front of me. I know Friday is about failure, so tomorrow I'm drawing a blank. I don't know what tomorrow's topic is. But Friday is failure for sure. What was it? Overwhelm something and then failure. And so I'm going to be talking about ways on Friday. I'm going to be talking about all the ways that I have failed, and how I sort of reframed it and what that looks like. And so, yes, join my Facebook group if you're a choreographer. If you're not in there already, the link's in my bio on Insta, or join my email list so you can get these emails before I do these lives. And just send me a DM and tell me that you're interested, and I'll pop you on the list. So thank y'all for your time tonight. I'm going to drive home now and chill out because I got to prep choreo tomorrow, like all day. So, all right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, drive-in motivation tomorrow. Thank you.